right, everybody. Welcome. We're going to continue with the Glacial Serpent today. Welcome, Loon. How are you doing tonight? I am okay. I'm okay today. I have a little bit of a headache because I've been studying a lot. So, actually, I forgot my reference. Let me open pure ref.
Hey.
Oh, hey,
You already
Chase.
start?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. How are you doing?
Well, pretty okay. It's like I'm doing pretty just fine. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. A little bit of a headache. Today I didn't do NSDR. I tend to be pretty tired when I don't do that. I'm trying to do some meditation more than NSDR to improve my focus because it's not the best recently. So I have to write that we are live on the Discord. Damn you, restream. It's not doing anymore. Last stream of the Glacial Serpent. Okay. So, yes, today, in honor of Chase, who is here, we're not gonna draw. We're gonna watch Omega 1.
No. I'll be leaving if that's the case.
Start recording. I figured you would. No. I'm joking. I'm Joe the King. I'm King Joe. You should do something like this here. I don't know exactly where I want the light to come from. I guess kind of from the top a little bit. It's a little weird because these are crystals, so they're not exactly following the form principle. But we will see. Unfortunately, I did not finish the Rider monster that I'm making for you. It took a long time actually to shade it. I was not expecting. Almost 3 hours, which is more or less what it took to ink it. So it's looking very good though. Very good.
Ooh, what I'm working on right now is relevant to that.
The 3D thing you shared?
The flatbed truck, yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Ice. E. Alright. I think we can. We're probably gonna get to the color phase today. Not finished, but tomorrow.
I am, however,
yes,
facing an issue.
Oh. No.
Do you know anything about like the GLF format for 3D objects, or GLB? Sorry, GLB,
No.
GLTF.
No, I use
Okay.
FBX usually or OBJ. I know a few 3DS, but not that. No, I never heard of that. Is it what you need for RPG Maker?
No, you can use OBJs, but I prefer using GLBs because it kind of it keeps the data internally. Because if you use OBJs, you have to have a separate folder with textures, and so you have to make sure that those are set separately. Otherwise, when you put it in, it won't map to the textures. But GLBs do that automatically, so you don't need that, which is why I prefer that. Unfortunately, it does not seem. If you add shaders, though, it does not export them, and I don't know why.
I have no idea. I never used it, so. FBX, does it accept FBX? FBX might work because I know with FBX I used to export animations, well, characters and animations to Unity, and it would export everything, including textures.
It doesn't take that.
Doesn't take
It
that.
only takes OBJ and GLB.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, I have no idea then. No idea.
I mean, I guess I can just export this as an OBJ and see if it works. I just hate doing that because then, like, I often make the objects and then map the textures, and I forget to put them in the textures folder. So, and I'd rather not do that, to have like a separate folder.
Oh, right. By the way, one thing about that truck before I forget. Sorry for interrupting you. I think you use like shade smooth for the corner of the bed of the truck? Like one of the corners, like yes, so like let me. So if this is the truck, oh, like this is the truck, right? With the window and the wheels, like this part here in the back, this corner here, it looks like you use like a rounded shading. Am I right?
I shade smoothed everything, which is what I normally do.
Okay, I would like if it doesn't add too much overhead, I would probably try like I think it's called fillet corner. Basically, split the edge and just shade smooth the other faces, but not that, because it might help give a bit more volume. I don't know how it looks in the game, obviously, so just something that I found useful when I was modeling.
I might. I don't know how much it really matters, but I can.
Yeah, obviously I don't see how it is in the game, so I have no idea. So clean up some of the. And let's see how it looks now. I think it's pretty good. But the other, I'm probably gonna do what? Let's see, because this is almost completely dark. There's a lot of dark here. But it's fine because we're seeing the bottom, unless I want light from the bottom or from the side, which I usually don't want.
I'm really impressed with how far I've come with 3D modeling. I made this thing entirely from scratch just today.
That's pretty good. How long did it take?
A few hours.
It's not too bad, really. I'm not that good at 3D modeling. I've done some. I've done that Raptor some time ago, but it's not something I practice constantly, so I lose whatever I learn really quickly. But yeah, it's one of those skills you can I wouldn't say master. You can learn pretty fast. Then it takes a while to go beyond a certain level. Say. Low poly modeling is fairly easy to learn. But then the issue is when you have to make loops manually for higher poly counts. That's more annoying. That's where I got stuck, and that's why I quit 3D modeling, basically, because I was not like, even doing something like a PS1 sort of level of detail would be complicated in the sense that I wouldn't know, like I would have a junction, I wouldn't know exactly how to make it, how to split the various corners or the vertices and edges so that rigging the model would create, would generate a decent enough animation. Like if it moves, obviously you cannot have the various polygons concentrate, so it needs to make sense when it moves. I don't know if you have that problem. Certainly not with a truck. No. That's one of the issues I had with the Raptor, because I spent a long I modeled it fairly quickly, but then when I animated it, I noticed that because of the way I had split the corners, it was looking very weird, like when moving the arms and stuff like that. So
well, I mean, I can't do like high subdivided objects or things like that because it just tanks the frame rate when you do that. I know this because I made something as simple as a mushroom a while back, and it was heavily subdivided.
This, yes.
Put it into the game, and the FPS goes from like 140 to 30 when you add it into the game. It takes a little while to load. I don't think it really matters that much. I kind of like the charm of the low poly models a bit. And I mean, it's going to be a 3D game with 2D models, so the kind of low poly 3D objects kind of works with the 2D for me.
Right. That makes sense. I go with that. I was finishing the Moonlight Shadow Dragon today, and I don't know. I changed the color to white instead of black. Cause my original idea was to make it black, but I think it might look better if it's white. So I'm just leaving it white for now and then see what happens.
The Moon Shadow Dragon is white?
Yes.
Okay.
It is white. It looks kind of an albino dragon. I thought it was sort of fitting, so whatever.
I guess just when I think of Moon Shadow, I don't think of like white or light color.
I know, but I don't want it to look too similar to the one I used for inspiration, which is already dark. So I don't know. I'm still undecided. Like I'm not 100% sold on making it white, but it looks pretty good. So actually, I'm gonna show it to you later or tomorrow, so you can give me your opinion. I don't care much about the name, really. So it's fine. Also, because it's giving off some light because of the two dishes it's got. You'll see. Right, it's gonna be a fun part. That's what I'm doing now because it's usually just adding extra edges to the ice. Man. Even a little too dark for what it is. I don't want the crystals to be excessively translucent. Not completely. Maybe a little bit, kind of like monsters usually do, but not quite like a completely a monster that's completely made of ice.
Sorry if Nemo and I are both being quiet viewers. We're both working on separate things right now.
Yes. Also, nobody's asking anything in the chat.
Well,
I think it's just us
Spooky,
left now, and maybe Loon.
If Spooky Emperor shows up, I'm going to ask him about the GLB thing because he would probably know.
I don't think he does.
Okay.
No, I don't think he does. Yeah, he uses OBJ only, as far as I know, for ZBrush or LZTL, but that's obviously not supported in RPG Maker. But I could use this time to announce that all these dragons that I'm making, they will be part of packs that are releasing for free, completely free for RPG Maker or anything you want. So I'm just gonna put them up on itch for free, together with some other monsters I'm working on and completed at some point, hopefully soon. I just need a little more free time. Or to not work.
This and like the Moon Shadow and Thunderwing?
Yes, but they cannot be on the same pack because, or they could be, but they should probably not because this is facing forward, obviously. So I do have a couple other monsters that are facing forward, so I'm gonna just put them together. Some of the dragons that I am making and that I sketched are forward facing instead of side, so like make separate packs, or I will just whatever release the pack. And in any case, this, if I flip this, I flip the camera, this can still look like it's facing a little to the side, so it's fine. Yeah, actually it's probably fine.
Too bad.
Yeah,
I might use if you're putting it out, I might use Thunderwing. I like that.
Oh yeah, I can send it to you now. Well, now after the stream if you want. Just let me know. It's finished. So, and time lapse hopefully is gonna be up on Saturday. I don't like making time lapses. Honestly, it's boring. I don't really enjoy making videos that much. I like to stream because it's live and I get to interact with people. But making videos is not. I do it because obviously the channel needs to be discovered and YouTube is all about search. But otherwise, I would be happier to just stream. Just that YouTube does not.
You have to. You have to edit them as well, which is
yeah. I have to. I actually it takes a while because I have to speed up things. I'm using Shotcut, not shortcut, Shotcut, and it's a free software, so it's not super. Oh, you do? Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, okay. It's pretty good actually. I like it. So.
Yeah, sometimes I have issues with it crashing whenever I'm editing videos, but other than that, I mean, it's free and it does everything it needs to.
So.
I believe Sam is the one who told me about Shotcut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty good software, so thanks to Sam.
I don't know if I'm the one who mentioned that to you or not. Or if
no, I think it was Jake. He uses it too.
Oh, okay.
So. Yeah, it's pretty good. It just takes a long time to do that sort of thing, so not like I try to do it to cluster everything on Saturday, so I don't draw on Saturday because it takes too long. But still, I would rather do something else and make time lapses. Also, because I don't know if there is any inherent. Yeah, you can see the process altogether, which is good. At the same time, I feel like being on stream and seeing the thing come live and ask questions is much better than experience. It's just that unfortunately, because of the nature of YouTube, it doesn't really recommend streams to a lot of people. So it is bad.
Blender GLTF export does not include shader. That's normal. Procedural shaders can't really be exported. What you should do is either bake your procedural texture into an image texture or paint an image texture.
Nice. That is pretty cool.
How do I do that with? I've got transparent BSDFs. How do I use that?
I have no idea.
Because I made the windshields I made the windshield and then the side shields, and I'm using a mix shader with the principal BSDF and the transparent with the mix shader. So how do I bake that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Something that beats me really. Not spent enough time doing 3D, so I really don't know.
Yeah, I tried to export it as an OBJ and it didn't work either.
Oh, it sucks. Is it the transparent part that's creating issues?
Well, for some reason, the cabin of the truck, all I have is I have an image texture, but I put a color ramp on it to change the color, and that's not exporting either. But the bed with the image texture on that does export.
Oh, that's strange.
I'm wondering if there's like some setting I need to turn on, because I'm using Eevee to render it, and sometimes I do forget to like turn on some of the render settings for Eevee that you need to do.
So do you need rendering data when you export it? Or is it just because you said you're using Eevee, but it shouldn't change anything in terms of exporting, as far as I know.
Well, I mean, when you export it, there's different options for like the materials and data and whatnot, but
yeah.
Like I for the mesh, I have apply modifiers, UVs, normals, and vertex colors on. Should I turn on? Is it attributes? Let me see.
Could be. I don't know. Probably turn on as much as possible there.
I don't know why it doesn't turn those on automatically.
It doesn't do it even with the FBX, I think. I don't, or maybe actually maybe it does. Turns everything on with that. Not sure.
Where is Emperor Cheese when I actually have relevant questions that he might be able to answer?
Well, wherever he's needed, like his own planet or stuff like that. He's a hero, so.
Goddamn Poochie.
Being a hero must be hard.
It's actually really fun to make 3D objects and then make keyframe settings for them. Like I made a gate that when you go up and click on it, it makes a opening animation. It's pretty fun.
That's nice. It's nice. Although I do not like to animate in Blender. I hate it. I don't know how many times I did not understand why I lost all my animations for no reason. I could like
it's a little confusing.
I don't know yet why,
because like you have to look at the dope sheet, and then you have the NLA, non-linear animation. You have to look at the timeline, make sure you're putting your keyframes separately.
Yeah, I can do that, but the problem is that sometimes the named actions would get erased. I'm not sure why. If I pushed any keystroke or something, I have no idea. They just got erased.
Did you delete or merge anything in the model?
No. Nothing. I would just open the file and that would be gone. And that got me very mad. That's why I gave up in the end, because I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. Understandably. When I lost my run cycle, I gave up.
Yeah, I mean, like, when it comes to actual models and game, like part of the game world, the animations for that stuff is usually pretty simple, and anything that's animated, that I typically leave that to doing sprite art. But like I've had to do, like armature posing for like when I made that glove hand in order to like make the attack animations and whatnot, and that can be a big pain.
Yeah.
Especially because I will sometimes pose the armature and then forget to set the keyframes, and then if you don't do that, it automatically resets.
Actually, I think you can. There is a way. I think it's what was it? There is. I don't know if it's Control P or something. There is a keystroke you can use to set. After you do it, even if you didn't set the keyframes, to set the current one, or copy it, and then you go back and repaste it, so that you don't lose it. Something like that. I had to learn it because I kept doing it too. So. There is a button for auto keyframes though, I believe. I forgot which one it is, but you can set keyframes to automatically create anytime you modify a pose. Still pretty complicated. For me.
It's something I just usually just click A, take all the parts, and just eye it.
Makes sense.
I mean, that sounds interesting to create a new keyframe whenever you set a new pose, but I could see that being an issue at times as well.
Oh yeah, it can be. It can absolutely be an issue. Yeah, rigging is not for me. Not rigging. I would say animating. Rigging is okay. I can rig. I can rig just fine, but animating, no, not for me. Not in 3D anyway. But in general, I don't like animation. It takes too long, and I want to see quicker results.
Well, I make stupid mistakes, especially because when I'm setting like armatures to something, like I always forget to check the topography of the object, because the other day I was making a frog tongue for the frog enemy in the game for an attack animation, and I just made like a basic cylinder, and then I set a sphere that I made into the tip of the tongue, and I was wondering like, why is this armature not bending? And it's because I didn't put any loop cuts into the cylinder, so the topography wasn't able to bend it.
Yeah. That's what I mean when that's what I meant before when I said, well, sometimes it's annoying to know how to basically cut the model for animation, or how to subdivide. Because yeah, if it
It can
doesn't
be
have
very
enough,
finicky.
yeah, especially if you have multiple joints. I actually had to look
Yeah.
up various techniques to make characters when I made a Regina. When I didn't make Regina, but I rigged Regina, and I made the Velociraptor. So there are some specific ways you can use for low poly cuts to make them look a little better when they joints bend, but still pretty complicated. Nothing I want to do. I want to do every day as a job, definitely. So
Yeah. I can't imagine like Emperor Cheese taking some of his models and rigging them. That would just be like insane.
yeah, although you could probably find pre-made rigs for characters that are standard, like human beings and things like that. Probably just adapt them if they are modeled correctly. For high poly counts, it doesn't really matter. The point is low poly, because if you have a super high poly character, it doesn't really matter how. It matters, but just to a degree, how the topology is, because in any case, it's not going to be that visible or that broken. But for low poly, it's absolutely fundamental to break the model in a specific way.
Well, yeah, what I mean is like if you have a more complex model, you're going to need a lot more bones in order to compensate for the higher subdivisions of the model. And that
Like if it's a human, no, not really. You need the usual ones. Although you can't, certainly, if you want the model to move realistically, you're gonna need some bones for various muscles. Yeah, like so that they act. Yeah, softer. Yeah, yeah. For general movement, no, obviously. But if you want like the pecs to bounce a little bit, or you want to have breasts, yeah, you're gonna need some extra stuff. Unless you want Lara Croft type of effect. Like Tomb Raider 1. So.
Well, knowing Emperor of Cheese, he probably does want the jiggle physics to happen.
I'm pretty sure he does. Pretty sure he does. He's still on his own planet today, though. Not talk about him. Just wonder where he is.
And he's probably gonna show up halfway through, like everyone did yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this is a bad time. Maybe it is. But in any case, it's gonna change next month. Or, yeah, well, in 1 month, more or less, a little over than that. So, Cheese is not gonna join anymore, I guess, at that time.
I guess you did you see you got a new follower?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was before the stream. If you mean like on Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah, right before
it says thank you for following Vado Bianco.
Yes.
I don't know why switching to the live stream view like resets the restream comments.
I don't know. I don't know.
Gave my dog a bath today. He was not happy about it.
Right. I remember you mentioning on stream that he's fussy when you mentioned the bath.
Yeah, he's right here. In fact, he's looking at me right now because I said the word bath.
Remembers that then. He's a smart.
He's very dirty though, and he was mad at me. So like after I got him out with the towel and put him on the ground, he immediately went into my room and started knocking all the pillows off my bed.
At least he was clean, so good.
Yeah, I took him outside to use the bathroom earlier, and I picked him up while we were out, and he was incredibly dirty. Probably because, well, I was out there just kind of, taking in the morning air, and he heard a dog start barking, which triggered him, and so he started kicking up dirt everywhere, and I was standing right next to him. He kicked some dirt on me, and then a whole bunch of birds came out of the bush at the same time he was doing that. It was great.
That sounds fun. Or not. Probably
It
not.
was crazy. There's like 30 birds in this bush. I heard them chirping. I didn't realize there were that many, and all of a sudden they just come flying at me.
Oh well, the perks of having dogs. I don't have dogs, so, and that's probably one of the reasons why I don't, because I would get annoyed if I had to do that. I'm not generous. I wouldn't want to spend time like that. Probably. I'm a mean person. I'm Scrooge. Oh. I'm Scrooge-esque.
My mom got a package today from the Home Depot, which she's like, I don't know if she's ever even shopped there. And it said, Happy Sunday.
It's not
Today's
Sunday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
And inside, all there was a coupling. And she has no idea why they sent it to her.
Oh, she didn't buy it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just
That's
says
weird.
Happy Sunday. It said Happy Sunday twice, and they sent her a coupling.
Maybe it was just late. A couple days late, I guess it can happen. Was it sent by your local Home Depot or just Home Depot?
I think.
I don't know. Oh,
I'm not sure.
I see. That's strange. No, that never happened to me. I had many weird things happen to me, but not this. Not this one.
I've been sent the wrong things, but I don't think I've ever been sent something that I didn't purchase at all.
Was the address correct?
Yeah.
Strange. Maybe they pushed the wrong button and they sent it to the wrong customer.
I think the programming of the universe, like chaos theory, kind of went out of whack there. There's like a glitch in the system. That's why I said Happy Sunday.
Oh yeah. Things like that are gonna happen from now on after Skynet took over the system. Skynet. She's looking deep. Okay. Do anything else? Oh, it looks pretty crystalline. Crystalline. It's crystal and it's lean. It's crystalline. Oh. Let's do this here. Whatever. I don't want these ice crystals to be too obvious. But to a degree. Pretty sure everyone's not showing up today because of yesterday's story about Canada. Or Trudeau. Oh.
Maybe, yeah. We were
I'm
a little raucous yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you like Trudeau. I'm sorry for you. So, anyway. Okay, this is bad. What the?
I was feeling a little cantankerous yesterday because I wanted to be done with work. I eventually did get finished, but it was like much later than I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. At least you got finished. That's good. You got finished. Or finished. In Finland. Yeah, I don't like how this arm looks.
Do we have anyone finish?
Do we have any Finnish person here? We had a Swedish person when Fiddle was around.
Maybe Nyx is. I feel like Nyx has like 30 different nationalities.
Oh yeah. She is a child of the world. Never know where she is from. Oh, that's one. I think I'm almost done with Metal Gear. I was perplexed today though, because I reached the part where you kill Vamp, and the whole scene with Naomi. That's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand what the hell she's thinking, or what side she's on really. Like I don't know if I can say. I mean, the game is old. I can probably say it. But she does
Spoilers.
something. Yeah, spoiler alert. If you played Metal Gear, if you didn't play Metal Gear Solid 4 and are planning on playing it, mute me for a few seconds.
You're talking about when Vamp dies, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
why? I don't understand if she actually likes Vamp or not. Like, she acts weird, because first she betrays everyone.
Yeah, I always thought that was a bit weird because she seems to really care about Vamp a lot, and I'm not sure why.
Right, all of a sudden like that, she doesn't even know him. Then she says, "Oh, we are similar," because she has cancer and she's using nanomachines, and that she, kills the nanomachines and she dies like that. But that's the weirdest part of the game. Like, why would you do? That's badly written. I don't understand the point of that, honestly.
Wasn't so Vamp's whole thing is that his powers and his his quote unquote immortality were coming from the nanomachines,
yes.
right? And I think Naomi is the one who invented them. So it could be like a Frankenstein kind of thing, where it's like Vamp is her creation in some sense, and that's why she feels bad about it.
Yeah, I can understand that, but she's literally, touching him in the scene before you fight him. So like, why? What's the point of that? She acts weird, and then she talks to Hal. I mean, to Otacon, and she says, when she's dying, she says something like continue our mission or something like that. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You betrayed the group. So what the hell do you want? I don't know. I don't understand that character. It's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it was something like that, or if she actually was romantically interested in him. I don't know.
Otacon? I don't think so. I think she just used
Let's
him.
talk about
I don't
Naomi
know.
and Vamp.
Oh, Vamp. Yeah, what about Otacon then? She, they take some private time. I understand she wants, she wants to get something out of him, like data or whatever information, but I don't know. The whole Naomi thing was kind of weird. I think she was a pretty badly written character, at least for.
I feel bad for Otacon. Like, every woman he's interested in is
Guys.
terrible. Because in Metal Gear Solid 1, Sniper Wolf is this cold-blooded killer, and he falls in love with her.
Well, that's a Stockholm syndrome. A little bit.
He's a bit of a simp.
Yeah, he is. But I don't dislike Otacon. It's just it was a bit strange, that part. Yeah.
I mean, not every male character is going to be some sort of macho badass guy.
Obviously.
So obviously there are men like Otacon around. It's just the way that the game frames some of the relationships in that way has always been very odd to me, just in terms of pure writing, like you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think they know a lot about human relationships. They're Japanese. I don't know. It just seems weird every now and then. But whatever. But that part, I feel like that part was just poorly written. The whole thing, in general, I can't say I enjoyed this act so far. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, you go back to Shadow Moses Island, and yes, nice. But then you get there, and it's like, well, there's nobody. So, okay. And then you see that Vamp and Naomi went through a certain path, because you have the footsteps, but you can't go there. And you find them, you fight Vamp, and then you get out and with the Rex, and you fight Ocelot. Liquid. And in the meantime, you just Gear, basically a lot of fan service, I guess. Just remembering how Metal Gear Solid 1 was. But there's no exposition, there's nothing. And the various gear, like you bring back Raiden again and it gets squished again. So, I don't know. Yeah, not a fan of this act. Everything else so far was pretty good, but this one is kind of flopped for me. We'll see if it gets better. Where's the end? I feel it could have managed a little better. Be managed.
There's a lot of things, especially in terms of the relationships. There's a lot they don't explain, like even with Vamp, because in Metal Gear Solid 2, they explain that Vamp is bisexual, and like Vamp had a relationship with Fortune's father, like a sexual relationship.
Oh,
with
really?
him. And then I think it's implied. I'm not sure like what Vamp and Fortune's relationship is supposed to be, but I mean that would be weird if he was like sleeping with her dad and then slept with her.
Jesus. Oh well. I mean, he was some sort of vampire monster thing anyway. So whatever.
I will admit he does look pretty cool in 4 though. I like it. I like the way they designed him.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. He is pretty cool.
Although I still love
more characters.
Metal Gear Solid 2. The first time I watched it, like the cutscene where they introduce Vamp, where he actually like kills the 3 soldiers in the boiler room or whatever. I always thought that was just like an awesome way to introduce him. He like jumps out of the scaffolding room and then like literally just slices their throats open and drinks their blood.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. Is it not the one where he drinks the blood? So
he's like parrying their bullets with his knife.
I heard that has been lost in Metal Gear 5, like that sort of over-the-top action, not realistic action, in favor of something a little more like Call of Duty, which wouldn't be great.
In terms of the action, yeah, a little bit. Some of it is grounded. The weirdest part about Metal Gear Solid 5 for me was the opening, because it feels totally disconnected from the rest of the game until the very end.
Okay. I don't think I will play that. I don't like the style. It's a little too gory.
I mean, I think the gameplay is pretty good, but it's just very repetitive, and you're doing the same 2 maps, so I don't know.
Is it longer than this one? This one is about 18 hours. Yeah, about 18 hours.
Yeah, much longer.
Just 2 maps. Oh.
Well, technically you have the Africa and the Afghanistan maps, and then you go back to your home base. And the home base is its own map, and that was where like the multiplayer elements came, because you could like raid other people's bases and whatnot and steal their soldiers.
And you play as Big Boss, right? Or some sort of some sort of Venom.
I don't know if you know the twist of the game, but
yes, I do. A little bit. But I was not sure, like, is that a thing? Is it true or not? Are you actually not playing like Big Boss? Is this a clone again?
No,
played a game.
It's yeah. I guess should we do spoilers again?
I don't know. It depends on who's listening. No, let's skip this for now. Maybe if I play the game. But I've read things and I've seen some videos. So I was curious, obviously. I don't care much about spoilers for that game because, in any case, I was not planning on playing it. But it's a little more new, I guess. So, for those who didn't play it yet, keep secrecy. Did you actually play it, or you just watch videos or something?
No, I played the full game all the way to the ending.
Because I know you're not much of an action game player.
Yeah, but it's more stealth, and it's a little brainier.
Is it still stealthy?
Yeah. I mean, the way you approach things is pretty interesting. Like, if you run straight into combat, you're gonna get your ass kicked. But like, instead, there's like you know, if you find like if you're driving around and you find like an enemy base, you can pop off in the distance, and then, you know, you use your binoculars and like mark the enemies on the map, and then you go up and you kind of stealthily take each one out one by one instead of like just running into combat.
Okay. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's very.
And it is fun because there's lots of different options for handling that too, because like once you start getting soldiers back into your base, you can obviously call them in, right?
Yeah.
So like you can actually like call in a helicopter to start like laying suppressive fire in the distance and like take the enemy's attention away, and then as they're like fighting against your helicopter, you can run in behind them and take them out.
Okay. Let's see. That sounds interesting though, gameplay wise.
Welcome.
Yeah, you like everything that comes in a pair, right? Cheese. Like binoculars because they come in a pair. I am sure. I was just saying, I defeated Vamp in Metal Gear 4, and I was perplexed with Naomi's fate, or in any case with Naomi's characterization. It was pretty odd. I don't know. I did not enjoy. Not what happened to
like
her.
pears?
Like, yes. No. A pair of things. Two pairs.
Like
pairs.
a pair of pants.
Yes. So yes. Yes. Meanwhile, while I complain, I'm working on Snake. Dum, dum, dum. I actually died the first time. There you go. Should have probably left the snake. But I had to cut it anyway. It was too long. I think it's only 4 seconds maximum. Naomi, yes. Naomi's a shitty character. Shittily written. I know you do not agree because you like Naomi because, you know, the pairs. But I don't think she's well written. Whatever she does there, like before the fight with Vamp, makes no sense. She's touching him very, very intensely.
Intimately?
Yes. And I don't know, honestly, at the beginning, she tries to grab his knife, and I'm like, oh, she's trying to kill him. But no, she's not. So what kind of behavior is that? She's like mental at that point. Like, why is she literally acting like that? She just wants to force him, not force him, to pump him up to fight against Snake or something. I don't know. Because he says like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you for my queen." Yes. What? Before Ray.
Is Naomi his queen?
I guess.
Because in Metal Gear Solid 2, he refers to Fortune as queen.
Well, now it is Naomi, it seems. So, I don't know. That's what he says, at least. So,
I think she's a woman. We can never understand these interesting creatures called women.
I guess. I don't know. Again, I think it was just a strange way to handle the character. I get it. As I was saying, Cheese, I was saying, well, you know, she feels maybe responsible. She thinks they are the same with Vamp because she also is surviving thanks to nanomachines, but I don't know. Yeah, he does. Call Naomi queen. right before you fight. She tries to grab the knives, and so the knife, the one, it's strange because she tries to grab the knife, and the knife, it it looks like she's trying to grab something else, because the knife is just there in the middle, and so I'm like, wait a second. Then she grabs the knife, and then he takes the knife. And then he says something like, "I'm gonna kill you for my queen." So, I did like yeah.
Go ahead.
I know. I was saying I did like the following the section that followed that with the snake having to railgun the geckos. It was pretty cool. Yeah, because they were coming in. You had to destroy them with the railgun. I had to rewatch that part. I know the interaction with Vamp, but not the details. Well, it's Kojima, you know, he likes his subtleties. I don't know. This is not just a subtlety. This is just, it's weird because first, you don't say really much about Naomi. Like, she's okay. She's a character in Metal Gear Solid 1. You already know Gray Fox was her brother. I think that's the reason why she injected Fox dye in Snake, right? Probably. But we didn't know that much about her. Like here, she's just like whatever, you know. I don't know how I got here, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like what side I'm on. I don't know. So whatever. She's not. I can understand what she wants basically, because she doesn't know, probably. She doesn't really know what she wants. It's not clear why did she have the USB key, the USB, you know, the pen drive. That was it a virus? Was she just trying to steal information? We don't know. Also, why was she back to Liquid exactly? Yeah, tell everything about the corpse of Big Boss and whatever, but I don't know. It feels very weak. Yeah, she's trained it for. I am strong-willed. What? I am strong-willed. That button-down shirt did not cloud my vision to character consistency. Did it not really? Really now? Did it not?
I'm glad to hear you're not a horny teenager.
Whatever.
Hey Nemo, do you remember the duck cannon I sent you?
Yes.
We should modify that and make it like almost serious looking, almost like a gecko.
I can do that.
That would be a fun little mecha creature.
Yeah, I can do that. I've been doing something similar today. Actually, I was working on a bipedal pedal monster. Not monster, like a mechanical monster. Mechanical design. I did a bunch actually. I might just release a pack that's made of spaceships and robots because I'm sketching a lot. So.
Remember Cubics?
Cubics?
Cubics, robots for everyone.
No.
That was an obscure show. Maybe Cheese remembers that. It was like a 3D animated show.
I had no idea. Thought it was something from The Simpsons. I guess not. What do I do here?
By the way, Emperor of Cheese, I was gonna mention this earlier, but I wanted Nemo to continue his thought. Are you familiar with the GLB format for 3D modeling? GLB, GLTF?
Oh, it's not. Not stream Metal Gear 4. It crashes. So it wouldn't be a pleasant experience. It didn't crash that often, but did it crash? But yeah, do you know that format, Cheese?
It's a format, so I guess not.
GLBX.
GLB. Yeah, GLB, or yeah, GL. You export the file as GLB, but it's GLB, GLTF.
To be fair, I'd never heard about that either. So one day I might stream Metal Gear. Maybe I'll stream Metal Gear 2, I don't know. I gotta make up my mind on what I want to make, or not, what I want to do on this channel exactly. Because obviously I want to make monsters. Yes, straight.
To surpass Metal Gear.
I'm stuttering? Strange. I'm not seeing any dips in frame rate. Oh! Yeah. It was up. It's strange. Why is it uploading? I thought I blocked. Okay, should not do that anymore. Sorry about that. Thanks for noticing.
Where are you exporting them to? How's that relevant? I'm using Blender if you're asking where am I exporting them from, but that isn't the question I have is different than that. Because I have shaders on this 3D object and they're not exporting with the model.
Wish I could help, but unfortunately I don't know anything about that. Not anymore, I couldn't hear you guys. Strange. I check your connection because everything seems fine here. As far as I can see.
It's not the plugin that's causing it, because when I'm looking in 3D viewer, like the bed of the truck still has the image textures, but the cabin of the truck does not.
Yeah, so it's the file. I really like that probably.
So something about the materials and the shaders are not transferring on those things specifically.
I have no idea. Unfortunately. That's one of the reasons why I don't do 3D anymore. I was tired of dealing with this sort of stuff. I would like to make a game at some point, but I don't want to have to deal with these things, really. I'm too lazy for that. Too lazy. Lousy. Lousy.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool.
I've never really heard about it. Is it something specifically that plugin uses? Like, why doesn't it use FBX? Is it old? The plugin for RPG Maker that makes it possible to use 3D.
I'm really surprised you guys have never heard of GLB files.
No, never. I worked with 3D a little bit, but no, I know others, but not that. Are they used anywhere else?
Yeah,
but obviously,
it's a pretty standard file format.
Never used. But again, I didn't do as much 3D, so.
It's really convenient because it contains its own information on the scenes, model, lighting, materials, and nodes and animations. But for some reason, my shaders are not transforming or transferring.
Don't really know.
You heard of it? I have not. Oh, he's not doing sculpting though. He's doing modeling, like manually with the mouse. The old way, you know?
Yeah, I don't sculpt. I mean, that's not entirely true. When I made that hand, I did a little bit of sculpting because to make the palm and whatnot, it was looking a little bit flat and weird, and so I did do some manipulation on the palm. But other than that, no.
Sort of is, but with a mouse. No, modeling is very different from sculpting. It feels very different. Have you ever done any modeling, Cheese? To me, it feels very different. Have you ever what?
Have you ever dated a model?
I know you did.
No, that's technically not.
Well, she was not a model, but
at the time she wasn't.
Yeah.
Now she is.
Oh, you could say that. You could technically say that. You dated a soon-to-be model or later-to-be model. And she was 3D, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Cheese's girlfriends who are 2D usually. And pillow-ish.
They could be 3D, but they're like on pillows, yeah.
We're not bullying, by the way. Not the least. Okay. I think that was the last. Do I want to add any more definition? Maybe. Some darker areas. No, I think it's pretty fun. If anything, I'm gonna go over it with another brush later. Oh, wait, I have that. All this. Oh yes. All this needs to be done. Not do this. Not projecting your fantasies onto me. I'm not. No need. No need for body pillows. No need. Wait a second, there's something weird.
Well, son of a gun. Now even my OBJs are not using the image textures.
Oh,
Screw this.
So, what the hell is this thing? Did I mess it up? I think I messed it up a little. It doesn't. Looks weird. Like, where's this going? This should be this, but there shouldn't be that much ice there. I don't think there was. Yeah, there wasn't. That's why. There was no ice there. There cannot be ice here. It's supposed to be a continuation of that. Going here like this. So let me...
Titanic is Nemo and Chase's love life. You're one to talk, buddy.
Titanic. Yeah, Titanic. I guess Titanic is a good adjective. Yes.
Did I check the nodes? Do you mean, is the use nodes option checked? Because they are. Unless there's something in the export settings that I have not.
Like this. It's going.
Hey, Daniel.
Oh, yo. What's up? Trying to fix this thing that I broke a little bit. I broke ever
You
so
are
slightly.
addicted to Sea of Stars.
Already, I thought you were addicted to the other game. Oh, was that Rust? No, it was not Rust.
No, what was it?
What was the other
Something
game?
two.
So how is Sea of Stars? I've seen trailers, obviously I heard good things about it, but how was your hands-on impression? I guess pretty good since you're addicted to it. I'm assuming.
I'm interested in playing it.
Looks a lot like Chrono Trigger. Very much. To me. And it looks like that. I probably want to add another line.
This
Thank
is awesome.
you.
So
Oh,
when
Remnant, yes.
when I made the bed of the truck, the part that connects to the cabin, it has like 3 grooves in it. And then, so when you look at the truck from a front view, it looks like the truck has cat ears. Awesome.
Oh, nice. Well, it's a characteristic. It is characteristic in any case. It's a characteristic and it is characteristic, so why not? I'll fix it like this. Yeah, there's a little bit of a mistake. Hopefully nobody else will notice it without me pointing it out. Full of hope. You like shitty high pillow? My pillow is sick. Sick. Oh, not 41 though. There you go. Yeah. So apparently Remnant 2 is not better than Sea of Stars. I know it's a completely different game, just
But Remnant 2 is 3D. 3D games are always better than 2D.
I heard that, but I cannot agree with that. In fact, I think Final Fantasy 13 is much worse than Final Fantasy 6. Despite that.
It's worse than 7 too.
Yes. Thank you.
It's worse than 4.
Absolutely, yes. I would say it's even worse than 2. Maybe not 2. 1. Because I could finish 1, at least. I did finish 2 as well, albeit with cheats. So... Wait, I had that dragon. Where is that dragon? Gotta check the Grambling dragon. The Grand Blue. Dragon Blue Fantasy. So now. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What in the world? Okay, so I got rid of the color ramp node, and it kind of worked when I exported it, and then I added the color ramp back, and now it's not. Why would the color ramp cause it to not render properly? Somebody explain this to me right now.
Sure. It's because that. I have no idea. Sorry, I wish I could help. 11. Hey, Fiddle. We are talking about Swedes before. Not really, just mentioning. 11 out of 10. Wow. Oh, you are compelling me to play it, sir. Because it does look like a very nice game, honestly. And also, I feel like it would be good to just support the developers. Although, I would really like to... And so this is a good game, yes. But I would really like to see something new. Something new. Like, there was no Chrono Trigger for Chrono Trigger, right? I want to see something new. Something innovative to a degree. I don't know. I don't think everything has been explored already. There's got to be something, some space left for some experiment or something.
There's plenty of space in my game.
Ha. 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 How are you doing, Fiddle? No, I'm just saying I want to see something new. Something a little more innovative than stuff. I think this is a pretty nice game. It's probably awesome, actually, because it looks like. But I still want to see something that's a little more... hey, nobody has ever done this before. Like, there was no... There was Metal Gear before Metal Gear Solid, but Metal Gear Solid is different than Metal Gear.
Well, Metal Gear Solid changed the entire gameplay compared to the originals.
Yeah, so I want to see something like that. Like, I can't believe there's nothing new. There hasn't been anything new for a lot of years. There are some like small games, yes, that are more innovative. Well, there has been Portal, which is a little more recent, I guess, which was strange because of the portals. There is a new game that came out where you can basically, how do you say? You can stick photos in the environment and they come to life, which is a pretty neat idea. But for some reason, like maybe there is too much going around. I don't know. We had this discussion several times at this point. I don't see anything that's a game changer. And I don't know why. I don't understand. So much technology available. Bit of a May day. We'll probably stay like that for a few days, but other than that, I'm good. Okay. Well, I hope it gets better for you. I'm okay. I'm good. My headache is gone. So I had a headache a while ago when I started streaming.
Is your work in game design frustrating you?
I don't think he started yet. Also,
I think he said he's
studying, not working, I believe.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. But you're good at whatever is going on. Hope it passes, like most things. Oh, you started 3 days ago. Okay. Good. How do you like that? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it that time of the month? No, don't take me seriously. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a bad joke. Sorry about that.
Whatever could you be referring to?
What? Me?
I don't get the joke. Yeah.
You didn't get the joke? Oh, I think it was a pretty good joke.
No, I don't understand it. Doesn't have anything to do with women, does it?
No.
This is a great channel. We've got a wealth of misogyny and racism.
That is one big pile of shit.
That's what life needs more of.
The first 2 days was good. You're gonna take a break from it and be back on Friday. Okay. I see. The more fringe and new you are, the harder it is to get noticed. No, I don't agree with that. No. I think nowadays there's so much overload of information and things that average does not stick out anymore. Maybe it was true some time ago, like before the internet or something. I don't think it's still true nowadays. If you don't stand out, you're not going to be noticed because there is so much. Like, I'm literally not even listening nor looking at ads and whatever they are, because I unless I see something that's completely different than usual, I'm like, yeah, well, it's another Call of Duty, or it's another illustration like Magic the Gathering. We've seen too many of those. I don't think people are interested in that anymore, honestly. I think it's time to give something a little different. It's time for change. No, but jokes apart, I think that's really what is needed now. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again like everyone else did. Because at some point, well, first we have AI now that can do a lot of shitty things. Maybe if you do something a little more awkward, or a little more, I wouldn't say awkward, something you're still proud of, but it's not whatever everyone else is doing, might have a better chance to stand out and be noticed. And maybe nobody will like you in the beginning, but over time you might be able to change things. No, I did not play Citizen Sleeper.
I don't know. A lot of it just comes down to luck. That's really the truth of the matter. If you have like a really interesting game and it gets lots of word of mouth, then yeah, it'll probably be successful. Once it's the hardest part is getting it into people's heads. Like actually making something and having people talking about it is the
exactly.
hardest
That's
part.
the point. Make something that people want to talk about. They're gonna tell their friends. But if it's average, why would you tell something average to someone else? Like, why? It's like, oh, well, what kind of average things did you see today? You don't talk about that, right? But usually you ask like, hey, did you do anything fun today, or did you see anything interesting? But it's gotta be different from average, otherwise it's just average, right? So.
You had a person that worked on Baldur's Gate 3 teach you about game design. Nice.
Wow. Man, I'm jealous. Wish I could have studied that when I was a kid. Or his age. I say kid because you're, what, 10, 15 years younger than me almost. So. MTGR is boring. What a bold and controversial take. It's kind of all the same, really. Not just MTG. I mean, I like it. Don't take me wrong. I like it. But it's like, oh yeah, that person graduated from CalArts or Art Center. Like, you can tell at this point. You can tell because it's all the same. There is nothing fancy in those paintings and drawings because they're all the same. So,
they're very grounded in like a Western style. They don't do anything fantastical the way that, like, you know, you see in a lot of Japanese art. The wild and strangeness of Japanese stuff is one of the reasons I think why Nemo and I are fascinated by it.
Yeah, and I think the world. It sounds like a bold, stupid statement, but we need more of that, right? We need more crazy, shit idiot monsters like Yu-Gi-Oh has.
Yes,
because we need more of that because I agree. It's fun. It's fun, right? Why do you have to have a goblin that's just another goblin? Come on,
a little green humanoid that's fat or something.
Yeah, right. And you might say, oh, you're doing like just dragons and stuff. I know. I'm actually trying to think about something else I can do, but every now and then I try to do something a little more weird. Maybe I don't publish it because it's not great or it doesn't come out well. But that's what I would like to do. Like, I would like to do something that's a little more weird than normal, something that stands out and doesn't look as boring as everything else, because there's too much of that. I don't know, Matthews, if that's the thing with realism. You can still make pretty outstanding stuff. It's just about shape design at that point. Obviously, if when you say a realism, you mean something that's realistic. So, well, I cannot make this creature have a tiny waist because it wouldn't support its weight or something. If that's what you mean, yeah, I agree with you. But if you mean just like realistic rendering, I'm not sure.
Because you can do pretty crazy stuff with realistic rendering, or slightly more figurative rendering, right? Like take something like this. This is I think it was for Concept probably. It was again Miyamoto. This is a little more weird. It's kind of interesting. I know what it's referring to. It's a kind of a rhinoceros beetle, but put it onto something else. I think it's pretty interesting and nice. Then maybe again, it's not that outstanding to make a business out of it. But if you take that to an extreme, I'm pretty sure you can find something that, even drawing realistically, that is going to capture and captivate, and make people talk about it. Because that's what you want to do. Like Chase said. You want people to talk about it because that's how things get around. I think the age of advertising, like paid advertising, is over. At least for what I'm concerned, given that I did not pay attention, and ad block and whatnot are pretty popular. People are tired, very tired of being served stuff like that. So
actually, being attached to advertising could be negative in these days. If people see that you're like paying for an advertisement, that might turn them away from whatever you're producing, as opposed to something naturally, like organically having people be interested in it.
Right. Oh, dried up. Sorry. Keep talking. Man, I'll get a drink. FZD's moving to a different school called Mages Institute. Really? I had no idea. But then again, you see another thing, FCD. I don't like the philosophy of FCD. Because I've seen, I like Feng Zhu. I like his stuff. It's fun. It's interesting. But then all they produce is exactly the same. And he also says that in videos, like, well, this is a product, so you're gonna make the product. You don't have to be, creative or illustrative or anything. This is a product. Yes, but it's also boring. Because you just keep seeing the same all over the place, and it stops being interesting after you see it in 5 movies, right? Fiddle, tomorrow is Bahamut. You can do Bahamut if you want. Talking to when MTG makes a cool sorcerer, it looks just like a guy. Yeah, on average, that's what they look like. So that's what I mean. Like, well, we need more interesting stuff, more wacky stuff. And I'm still trying to find exactly what I want to do. I'm not sure yet, but I will at some point. I'm trying to find a better direction. I want to go a little weirder than usual. That's why I made also Smaugust with some kind of a little more crazy ideas for dragons. Excuse me. No, FZD, not FDZ. FZD, yes. It's in Singapore. I thought about that too, but then I met someone who went there, and I changed my mind. Man, that guy was stressed. Also, I don't like their approach to perspective. I know perspective is important, but I think we're stressing. Now you're gonna hate me for saying this because I'm the one who usually stresses technicality. So technique has its place. You need to know your fundamentals, but you also need to kind of lean into it a little bit. That's why I'm not doing all the grades with perspective and stuff, and I don't like that. Because there is a point when you can just say, okay, now that I know some things, I can try to apply the general principles, but without trying to be, super precise, do my own thing. And that's probably the best approach. It is expensive. It is ridiculously expensive. And the point is, the entry fee is not even the most expensive thing. Living there is insane. I know, because as I said, I met a guy who went there. I think he got a scholarship actually, or something. The cost is prohibitive. $40,000 for a year. Come on, it was. I think it's more now. Was when I was looking. Singaporean, yeah, poor little Asians who will work themselves to death. I don't agree with that aspect of the school. That guy, oh, he was not Asian. He was from Croatia, I think. He went from being a cheerful guy, super excited about art, to being so grumpy and angry all the time. So, yeah. Then again, I would say it's we're starting to have basically an excess of technically good people, but a shortage of people who are willing to take the risk to do something different. So that would be something to probably focus on. That's what I'm thinking about recently. I don't want the monsters I make to be just, you know, oh yeah, look, it's another monster. No, I want to make something a little different that leaves a mark and hopefully people talk about. Chase, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry if I overwhelmed you.
No, I'm just frustrated. So
With the program, yeah, figured.
I'm gonna shelve it for the day.
It makes sense. If the results are as they seem, it does a good job of creating a good portfolio, but it seems to be only the best thing. The cost is high, the workload is full-time, and just seems heavy on your spirit. Not only that, but if you ingrain that style for so long, like in that kind of traumatic way, very hard to break away from it. And again, it all looks the same. That's why I'm not a huge fan of schools, like big schools. I prefer something a little smaller. Kind of like the Watts Atelier, because you can kind of break away and find your own voice at that point. But everything coming out of FCD is pretty much the same. Pretty much. So there isn't much space for creativity. Because yeah, you're probably gonna go work. If you want to work for someone, by all means, then do that. But if you want to go, you know, you make your own T-shirts, make your own stuff, start your own business or something, be even a freelancer probably. I don't know. It's more for people who want to be employees. I'm not kind of like that. I'm currently drawing slimes as if they were a type of mollusk. Is this what you're saying as being different? It can be anything. It can be anything that breaks away from convention and makes you proud of it, though. Like, it doesn't have to be something bad. So something you know is bad, and so you do it just to be outstanding, like dressing up with meat. It's dumb, Lady Gaga. That's not what I mean. It's hard to define. If I knew it, I would already be doing it. It's more of an understanding that I have right now. Of, well, we have too much of this. Let's try not to do the same thing. Basically, I realize it's not very. It doesn't make much sense probably to you, but it does in my head. That's true. Plus, you might start resenting art. Oh yeah, that guy did. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if the art is the same. If it teaches you to get to that level, it's up to you to break from that and make your own art. Yeah, but all it teaches you is to be a cog in a machine. From what I can tell from people who went there and the videos of Feng Zhu, which I don't like. Like, I don't like to be in a position where I just create a product that's like the industry wants. Because at some point, someone is going to come around and say, hey, I made this other thing. Maybe it's not as good, but it's so much more interesting that everyone's going to like it. That's why I don't draw humans much. I know it's good for practice. I just prefer creating things I've never seen before. It's kind of the same. That yeah, that's why I don't like to I can draw humans. I do not dislike drawing humans, but I prefer creatures if I can. Or monsters or humans that are a little weirder than normal, like with strange armor and stuff like that. And of course, I like to draw things that I like. So, well, if I like Final Fantasy summons, I'm gonna draw some of them. But that's again something people have already seen. so it's not gonna make much noise unless you're outstandingly good. But most people are not. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, look, it's another MTG artist because all the art looks the same. Like, why would you? Yeah, it's good. Put a like. It's a nice picture, but we've already seen that a lot of times. So, all right, Fiddle, have a good night. So I would like to see more Brave stuff, honestly. Although at this point we are so overwhelmed with the amount of media that it's kind of hard again to find something different, because it seems like everything else has already been tried out, but I don't think that there's always probably something new you can try. Probably.
I guess different isn't always good. I mean, like Daniel is saying here, I guess one could argue new hairstyles or clothing on a human is new, but it feels like nothing compared to creating creatures. I mean, you could do new things in terms of character design, but a lot of things are established because they work. I don't know. It's like, think about the character designs in the new Fire Emblem game, like giving a character half blue hair, half red hair. It's like, yeah, I guess that's different, but it's also stupid. So it's kind of a balancing test between having.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I said you don't have to do something insanely stupid. So like, I think that just looks bad. I don't even know if they think it's cool. Maybe they just want it to look different. But if you can put together your will to do better with also trying to not make the exact same boring thing everyone else has been doing for a long time, then maybe something very cool can, come out of that. Obviously, it's not like it happens every day. So, half red, half blue. Yes. Yeah, I would not. I'm certainly not advocating for outstanding just for the sake of it. As I said, I don't think Lady Gaga's meat dress is something that you must follow as a trend. I think that was dumb, or is dumb. So, but kind of that bad even if it's white.
I don't know. I think a good example would be the Lamia you did for me.
Yeah.
Like you're taking the idea but doing a different take on it, but it's not totally bizarre or something.
Right.
So you're just doing like a new idea that's based off of something that's already established and just changing it a little bit. That generally I appreciate that. But if you're like, yeah, well, I'm gonna draw slime, but the difference between my slime and other slimes is my slime is taking a shit. Like, okay, that's kind of stupid. You shouldn't do that, even if it's original.
Yeah, no, that's not what I mean. Yeah, not just different for the sake of being different, but to try not to simply do whatever. I like classic. I'm the first one saying classic is cool, but not classic like MTG classic. I don't know if you get what I mean. That's when I'm like, oh, this is just another monster, another thing. If people have already seen that 1,000 times, they probably grew bored of that. So you can probably do something that's better by simply not just stressing the same point over and over and over and over. Lady Gaga meet Golem. That could be interesting. Meet Golem. That could be interesting indeed. Alien fantasy plants? Well, I did. I did for cheese. So.
They're pretty cool.
I like them. Though again, I still think I can go a little further with that. Like making the shape design even more weird, because I think I still have that kind of more Western type of look that I want to get rid of. And that's why I like Miyo Midorikawa's drawing so much, because in some of them I see, oh man, this is so like that dragon with the giant tail with the what's it called, with the crystals on it. That's, I don't know, it's just great. It's not average to me, so it is worth talking about it. In fact, I always talk about her because I like this stuff, and I'm pretty sure people who think who like, you know, monster design like I do think the same. So that's the sort of thing I'm talking about, like just going a little beyond, not too much, just enough. So I cannot emphasize how much I hate that so many games use the Tolkien races. I love Tolkien so much. Please stop putting generic elves. Yeah. See, that's exactly what I mean. We've seen that stuff many, many, many times at this point. So,
well, the unfortunate thing about the fantasy genre is that Tolkien basically invented it, and
yes,
he's also the best. And so everything that came after it has always just been another iteration of Tolkien, basically. Yeah. So yeah, but that's one reason why I wanted to avoid fantasy, is to create alien races that aren't what you normally see in games and whatnot, like elves and dwarves and such. But yeah, I totally understand. But they use those things because people are familiar with them, and you know, Tolkien.
Yeah, but that's like for average
what he did.
For average people, and I mean, we're at least I just skip ads and stuff that looks average at this point. So I would rather see something that's a little more interesting, like this Japanese stuff, right?
Yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that it has mass appeal.
Oh yeah,
like
mass. Yeah.
People are comforted by things they're familiar with. That's why you use elves and dwarves, because they know these things. It's like, okay, so this is something that I'm familiar with. It hits that little part of their brain that's like, I understand this, or I'm familiar with this. Sometimes the wacky, outlandish stuff is what turns the average person away.
Yeah, I don't do very well with average people. So, oh well. Not very well. So whatever. We'll see what I can come up with, if I can come up with something. I would really like to take the monsters to a direction that's like that I can say, okay, this is something that I made. It was inspired by, but it is, you know, my baby. So one day.
Don't worry, my game will be a huge success, and you'll be thanking me.
All right. Oh, looking forward to that.
I'll stay positive.
Stay positive. Oh,
that's what I tell myself when I cry myself to sleep. Like my bank account.
It's like, oh, my game will never succeed. No. I'll say it again. I like classic, but sometimes I just want to see something that's. I want to see the new Metal Gear. I want to see the new Final Fantasy, right? Stuff like that. I can't believe that we already did everything and anything to do with the genre, with video games. That's impossible. I don't believe that.
Well, they did new stuff. You just don't like the new stuff that they did.
Like what?
Like, what is it, 15, being a bunch of guys driving around, having a good old time. Like, it's different
but it's not
to the normal Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but it's just meshing up GTA, Metal Gear, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy. It's not something that redefines the genre. It's pretty much the same. Everything else is like, well, Devil May Cry fighting style. I don't know. I guess it's also hard to explain what I mean.
Nemo, I think it's very difficult to make something that's wholly original. You're always going to see connections to other things.
I know, but still, either for the lack of too much competition, or because it was just the right time, or because it was extremely good products. Like nowadays we have we have sequels to movies and games that were made in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. There is nothing new though, apart from that. And that's what bothers me. It bothers me that there is nothing worth the effort of making a sequel because it looks pretty much the same as everything else. That's what I mean. So it doesn't need to be like 15. It doesn't need to do what 15 did, right? That's not what I mean. But it needs to be an original new thing. Ideally. Given, I would love to see more classic JRPGs. I like them.
Okay, Final Fantasy, but all the characters are dead and the game takes place in the afterlife. How about that?
It's called Lost.
Haven't you read your Bible? Like, there's nothing new under the sun.
Maybe under the daughter. Originality is
Have you
curious.
been under a lot of daughters?
On top usually. Originality is curious. A lot of times the most original thing is to give new spin on something that already exists, right? But it's gotta be a smart new spin, not just like Final Fantasy 15 type of thing. I don't know, I don't feel good about that game. Like Monster Hunter, the creatures are crazy cool, but there is lots of elements that to them from real life animals that you can break down and identify. But still, we're still playing sequels of Monster Hunter, right? There is no new Monster Hunter. There is no new series or new game that's, that game is like redefining a genre or creating a new genre or something. There isn't. There's Devil May Cry 5. There is Call of Duty 20,000, whatever. Like there is no new IP that's worth carrying on to the next generation of consoles, for example. That's what I mean, basically. It's not just a matter of, okay, this is a sequel of it needs to be something different. I'm curious about it. I would like to see something more about that. Or in that sense.
Well, if something is genre defined, people don't make things to make them define a genre, though. Like nobody sits down and makes a game or makes a song or makes a movie and say, yes, this is going to be the voice of a generation. This is going to change filmmaking or games. They just make whatever they want to make, and whether that redefines the genre or not, again, it's just all circumstance. Like it can be just a total accident that happens. Nobody actually goes in thinking, like I don't make my game and think, oh, this is going to totally redefine RPGs. Of course not. Nobody thinks that. Nobody that makes a piece of art thinks that they're making art when they make it.
No, but the point is I've not seen anything that did that after the fact. Like even by coincidence. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've not seen anything that was so weird and outlandish or something that did redefine a genre, or made substantial changes to something that was already there and predefined. I've not seen that. Again, it could be that it's just because there is so much now that it's hard for anything to stick. It could be just that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the issue is that when you create something in a genre, the reason why we have genres is because there are defining characteristics. Like, if you're making an RPG as opposed to a first-person shooter, there's a reason why we delineate between those things, because there's certain structures or characteristics that make something an RPG as opposed to a first-person shooter. So those things necessarily have to conform that in order to fit the genre.
Yeah.
What you're saying, I think, is you want something that completely elides genre and goes
No.
cross genre or something.
No.
I'm not sure what.
No. It's something that adds value to it. Like, I think Metal Gear Solid added a lot of value to action games, I guess. It blended stealth, or created, I don't know, stealth games. I don't know if there were proper stealth. I guess there were somehow stealth games before. But it did something that was that took them to the next level, I guess, or something different that made it become what it is. In any case, and nowadays I don't see any game that's like, oh well, from this point onwards, a lot of games will implement this kind of system because, you know, it redefined the genre, or it expanded possibilities, or this is an actual cool idea. Maybe we should be inspired by that.
Yeah, but I think the problem is the limitations of technology. Because you're saying like
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 2 redefined the genre, but that's because Metal
the
Gear
one,
Solid was a
the first
3D
one.
game as opposed to a 2D game. When
Yeah.
games jump between 2D and 3D, then yeah, obviously a lot of those became genre-defining things because that was a new way of expressing the games.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously games have been 3D for, you know, over 20 years now. So it's like, okay, now that we've gone from 2D space to 3D space, but where do you go from there? Everything is being articulated into 3D space. So until they start coming out with like 4D games, which will redefine the genre.
It could be.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is creating games that allow more user interface. You know, games that start using more haptic feedback or VR or things like
Probably
that
something like
allow
that,
you
yeah.
to actually enter into the space of the games themselves rather than, you know, being disconnected and playing an avatar, whereas you would become the avatar. That's the only thing I can think of. But
Yeah,
right now,
maybe
everything
something
is
like that, yeah.
confined to the space of the technology. When you're looking at like different consoles, it's like, okay, what's the difference between the PS4 and the PS5? Well, it's got greater processing power. And it has higher fidelity, that kind of thing. It's not like jumping from the PS1 to the PS2 even, or, you know, going from the SNES to the N64 or something.
Right. It could be a technology limitation. There's technically already a 4D game out. Well, what is it? It was going on making creative creatures. Oh yeah, pretty creative for sure. And that's why it is Monster Hunter, right? I think at best you just kind of get weird genre combinations like Sakuna of Rice and Rune is basically Harvest Moon plus Castlevania, but in feudal Japan. I know that game.
Yeah, that's similar to stuff like Rune Factory. Rune Factory was a Harvest Moon spinoff, but instead of just being Harvest Moon, they turned it into an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do things like that where you're taking another genre and implementing elements of other genres
pretty
to
much.
make it distinct.
Something along those lines. I don't know, the times might have changed. I think until we get the next generation of technology, which might be, I don't know, all of the NPCs are AI, like actual, you know, actual GPT kind of level AI. So that would be interesting.
They're working on that now.
Oh. Certainly add a lot of immersion.
Every time you talk
Certainly.
to the characters, they say something different because it's always constantly being generated.
Yeah. That's something that could change the game a lot, probably. Wait.
Yeah, I did see that there's a AI NPC Skyrim mod.
Yes. Saw that.
It's still a bit limited in scope to what we're talking about.
It's a little
though.
slow, yeah. It's interesting. But something like that would be very cool.
Because they use the AI to process it, and there's also one that allows you to use like AI voice technology. Like they take the actors' voices and it generates the voice along with the text, which is pretty neat.
Oh yeah. Maybe it's the same color. Damn it.
Once that technology approves, it'll definitely be a viable option.
Oh yeah. Might want to change some colors here. Maybe more dark. More darker. Right, Emperor of Cheese? More darker. Darker.
More bigger.
More bigger. I think I'm gonna have to add that shading layer before I can see this well. Or the special. Relay.
No. My dog is whining in his sleep. He must be having a bad dream.
That's cute though. Unless he's waking you up when you try to sleep.
Usually not. I mean, he can snore pretty loud, but
He snores, really?
yeah.
The problem is that the games that use their own AI system will probably take a lot more processing than normal games. Yeah, unless they figure out. That's probably the crucial point at the moment. Like, how can we implement AI in a way that does not require so much computing power? Because right now it is a lot. So.
That will lessen over time as the technology develops, though.
Yeah, likely.
So just be patient.
Be patient. Be a patient. Don't be impatient. Alright, and what do I want to do? Shine. Okay, so this is what I do for the crystals. I already showed this, but it's pretty much the same thing I usually do. I take this, and then I invert reflection. But AI is pointless because it doesn't have a conclusion. So you can just keep asking an NPC open-ended questions irrelevant to the game. No, you would probably need to train the models so that they have a specific... that's what they did with the Skyrim mod, I think. They have a specific character, right? They have a specific mode of being. They are a person, right? Obviously not just going completely random.
And you would put limitations on it anyway.
Yeah. So
You might cap it at a certain amount of tokens or something.
yeah, at some point you might just, keep saying the same thing in any case because you don't need anything else. Or you want to save resources and whatnot. But that would probably require the game to be always connected. It's making a request and a fast internet connection because it's going to have to make requests until it becomes portable.
That might happen anyway.
Yeah. Well, it does happen with some games already, so.
You have to be constantly online in order to play.
Yeah. Alright, I think it improved considerably. This extra layer. Let me capitalize on that. to like this. And obviously I'm not going to be able to finish it, but I will post the time lapse. Of course. Of course. Looking pretty good. I like the colors. I like that I'm breaking away from what I usually do. The usual colors I use.
I really like the coloration, yeah.
See, the point about ice is that you have to use a lot of reflections, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it came out pretty well so far.
I learned that when I was trying to turn the icicle into a rock creature, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Unfortunately. It's hardwired.
Files, have you do this stuff for me.
I shouldn't take that long. You probably just... Okay, the thing is, if you want it to be a rock, it has to follow the form principle. Anything else... So there are two things. One is reflective, and the other is not. So if it's ice or anything transparent like glass, whatever, anything transparent can be done with that. Anything else that is not rock of any kind, even metal to a degree, that just has a little more reflections, we'll need a different type of shading. Like basically just redoing the shading. That is. What's that? I think. When is the base one? Might even leave it lighter. Do you like Chase? Do you like it bluer or do you like it whiter? Even completely white. Or white, maybe. I like it more white.
Yeah, I think I prefer white.
Let's do this. I'm gonna add a new clip that I can go back. Yeah, it's different than what I usually do, so I think it's pretty. It's almost finished. It's not really needing. It's not gonna need much more than this. So this time we actually got to see almost all of it. Everybody. Every and buddy. Buddy is not here, but every. Yes. So it's very close. I'm gonna have to remove some of the but yeah, I think we have reached the end of today's stream. So tomorrow we're gonna do another one. I don't know if I will do Bahamut, because I don't have a sketch yet. I'm supposed to do the sketch tomorrow, obviously. If it's good enough, I might, but I am probably gonna change it later because I want Bahamut to be, you know, Bahamut. So I'm thinking it will have to be taken care of in a special manner, a little more special-y than the others. So we'll see. Anyways, everybody, thank you very much for being here with us today. I enjoyed the stream as always, and yeah, I'm gonna wait for you to show up tomorrow when we will start a new dragon. Thanks Chase and everyone else. I don't think I'm gonna raid because I can't stay. So, and there are lots of people with a lot of people already, so we're probably just gonna... Oh wait, Elliot doing Pokemon Red and Blue. let's go say hello to Elliot because he's our friend. So Elliot or Nadir or Nadir, yes. Okay, so yes, we're gonna raid on Twitch and everyone else. I will see you tomorrow. at the same time. Take care.